Real quick before you listen to this podcast, when I put my mic on myself today, I put it on my seatbelt and it was rubbing against, I think, the drawstring of my hoodie. And so the whole time you can kind of hear like a little rubbing sound against the mic. I don't know how I keep on doing this. I need to just come up with a better mic situation in my car. But it doesn't sound that bad, but I just want to warn you before you start listening, you're going to hear something scratching the whole time. And I wish I could fix it, but enjoy the show. Peace. What is up, Like City? It's me, Brennan, and welcome back to On the Streets with Spokast. I am heading into the studio. It is Wednesday, January 28th, 2026, and I said that I was releasing... sorry, Siri, I'm not talking to you. I said I was releasing my interview with Jazz Boyd today, and I have changed my mind about that. I will be releasing it soon. I just haven't had time to upload it to my computer and edit it, which shouldn't take long, but I'm not gonna be able to do it today just because I have stuff going on in the studio, and and it's gonna take an extra day, so that you'll see that coming up soon. So I wanted to come and do a hump day episode and just talk about a couple of things. I do have a Spokane thing today, and it's not really a Spokane thing because I want to get rid of that context towards music that's coming out of Spokane from artists based here, because music is not defined by a city. I mean, I guess it can be, but I will say I think we should not box local artists in as like saying some new Spokane music came out today, because the music that came out today from my buddy TS The Solution just dropped this morning. Enough is Enough. It is a heartfelt song with bars on bars on bars. It's TS is an amazing lyricist, wordsmith, and I would encourage anyone to go and like listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon Music. I imagine it's all those places. And this, take a second, listen to it. It's hip hop. It's raw. I wouldn't say it's raw, and like it's like you can feel like TS's emotions in his verses, and just like, and it really just struck me because when TS raps, it's always so thought-provoking. It makes you think, and what I really love about TS's music is that it's always that. Like, he's always has lyrics in there that like make you be introspective about yourself. And not all rappers and artists and singers do that. Like, sometimes it's just a little, it's pop, it's fun, it's candy, and what I also love about TS's music is like it is that, but it also is thought provoking. And I think if you like music, you should go listen to it. It's really, really, really good, and more people should be listening to TS The Solution. And he has a feature on it by Dravis, another local artist, and he has a verse to close out the song, and it also very, very good. I don't know Dravis's music as well as TS's, but I've heard his name through the grapevine here in Spokane. So yeah, my Spokane thing today is go and listen to Enough is Enough by TS The Solution and Dravis. You won't regret it. I promise you that. So I'm coming up to a road is closed sign. I've never hit one of these in where I'm driving. So yeah, I'm heading into the studio, like I said, gonna record a couple podcasts today. I have an episode with the Blue Styley podcast. Always great to have Blue in the studio, and it always is great because I get to listen to him interview someone who's gonna like just give us so much insight to how to be a more productive and better person, because that's the only type of people Blue has on his podcast. Shout out TS the Solution, who was on Blue Stylie's podcast back in, oh man, that was like, I don't know when that was. It was sometime in 2025. I think it was like in the summer months, like in June or July or maybe May. But you go listen to that episode. Such a good episode with TS Solution on Blue Stylie's podcast. And yeah, so I'm gonna go in, and then I also have a drop-in recording. I have been trying to get more of these. People just needing to use the studio for one-off recordings, and either for their podcasts or for I have people who I have an agency who I work with who they come in and like they record commercials, like podcast commercials for social media. Like if you are on social media, sometimes you'll see two people talking, plugging an item, and you'll say, "Oh, this is a podcast," and this people talking about this product. Most of the time, those products, or not those products, but those podcasts are not real podcasts. They're just two people talking side to side and promoting this product, and it's just a commercial for that brand. Which, what I imagine people would think, oh, that's cheap. Like, I can't even listen to this podcast. I think what like brands are trying to do is they're trying to mimic what, big podcasters are doing, and it just makes it seem more official. Like, oh, my brand is being sponsored by this random podcast, and it gives it just a little bit more, what word am I looking for? It just makes it more legit, I guess. Makes it feel more legit. And the team that comes in and records podcasts at my place, like, you would never know that they're not doing a podcast, and they do a great job writing the scripts and doing these short little 30-second, 45-second commercials. So I got that today, and then I gotta run sometime today. That's a must. I need to run at least for an hour today. Went and played basketball for the first time yesterday in, like, I would say like 9 months. I used to do this run with some old guys at a school gymnasium in Spokane, and I did that for like 3 months last year, and it was so much fun playing basketball. I will say the key to not hurting yourself playing basketball with a bunch of other old men, and I'm putting myself in the category of a bunch of old men, is don't be a tryhard. Don't be the guy who thinks that they're in the NBA or in high school and like trying to do I cannot do anything like that anyways. I am very much like side to side, run up and down the court. If I dribble, I'm gonna drive a little bit, but I'm not gonna like go all the way to the hoop, because I don't have that skill. And if I am open, I'll take a nice little floater. I'll usually make it. Not really. And I don't ever do a floater. I am not Adam Morrison when it comes to playing basketball. I mostly take threes. I chuck threes, and sometimes I make them, and most of the times I don't. I wouldn't say sometimes I make them, sometimes I don't. I would say most of the time I don't. And funny thing was, playing basketball yesterday is like I've been shooting with like a intermediate size ball, like the size that's like a step below like the adult ball, because Link and Ivy play fourth grade basketball, and when I go to practice, I shoot with that, and I'm like, oh, I'm such a good shooter. I'm making all these shots. Like, the ball's literally an inch smaller, and I don't know if it's that much smaller, but like it's a lot easier to make a shot with that smaller ball. And yesterday I hadn't shot with a big boy ball in a while, and it showed, because I was not making anything. But I did make a couple threes and some twos. I was playing really good defense, I will say that. But yeah, I don't really got a pop culture thing today. I I'm gonna open this Kickstart that I just bought from my favorite convenience store in Millwood. The only place I can find a Kickstart, since nobody will tell me where any more are at. And there's 2 more left there, and I think I'm the only person who buys these pineapple, orange, mango ones. So I think unless they restock, and I hope they restock, they usually do, then I might not be able to get Kickstart ever again. I don't know anything about what I'm about to talk about. Mine and Abby's favorite show, one of our favorite shows, Shrinking, with Harrison Ford, Jason Segel, and a bunch of other great actors that I can't name right now, just started back up, and it is such a fun show. It's just it has those Ted Lasso vibes, and Brett, actually, the Brett Goldstein, I believe, is a producer on it and might be a writer. Brett Goldstein plays in Ted Lasso. He is, why can't I think of his name? He's like the mean, gruff, like, guy on the team, and he ends up becoming a coach. I don't know, I think of his name, but he has like beard and black hair. And he's also in the show a little bit. But yesterday they talked about something that Harrison Ford was saying it's called The Field, and I'm going to do some research on this. And he basically said, like, the field is like what the universe is what's around us, and basically shows us things that, like, we need to fix about ourselves, and it will keep showing us those things until we fix it. And ironically, this has been happening to me. I have been in multiple podcasts and in the world in general of people talking about this being nicer, like doing the little things that make someone smile and happy, and, like, you know, introducing yourself to the person that you see at the convenience store every day, that you always buy a donut and energy drink from, but you don't know their name, they don't know your name, you just have this transaction once a day, but they're human, and they're working, they're doing their job, and we interact with them on this, like, very surface level, and we don't say, like, hi, I'm Brennan, oh, and you're Mel, like, and you work at the Millwood convenience store, and every morning when I walk in, you are so nice, you say, I hope you're having a great morning, but, like, it's just, she's a breath of fresh air. Like, I mentioned this on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and I've introduced myself to her, but I've also, like, I have a lot of regret recently about my grandmother. My grandmother just passed last week, and I mentioned this already once, but it's really hitting me now, and it keeps on coming up. Is just like, we need to take time to be kind to the people that love us, or people that show us gratitude, and I've always been really bad about that, like, with my family. Like, I'm a very loving person. I'm a very, like, I put on a hard exterior, but in my core, I am, like, a loving, generous person, and that's what most people who don't know me see. Is that, like, I would say, a kind of my front that I put on, but everyone knows that to my core, like, that's who I am too. Like, but to my friend, to not my friends, but to my family, my close family, I put on a hard exterior, and I'm not very loving or nice at all, and I don't know why I do that with my family. And why I say this is because I wish I would have just spent more time with my grandmother. I wish I would have, she lived right next door to my mom, and sometimes I'd go over to my mom's house, and I'd be like, oh, I'll see Nanny next time I come out. Like, and she's probably sleeping anyways, and all I could have done is just walk over there and talk to her for 10 minutes. It would have been nothing to me, but I just didn't do that enough. And I like I said, we need to do more of that. And I feel like the field has been showing me that, because on Monday I recorded a podcast with Next Level Good Vibes Only, and that's what they talked about, was this like how amazing that is to get like how much that will make you happier and fill you with joy when you are friendly to a random stranger or to a person you don't know. Like, why do we only ever reserve that for our friends and family? And I'm realizing I only reserve that for people I don't know. And I need to do that more for my family, for people that actually love me. But I also want to keep on doing it to everyone. I want to be that that ray of light, or I want to try to be happier and be, and yeah. And so like, and then it came up in another podcast when we were talking, we did the Disney Junkie yesterday, and we did Mary Poppins, and we talked, and that's a lot about what Mary Poppins is about, is like being, you know, putting your, family before yourself and your career. And I think I'm pretty good at that, but like, I still am a jerk sometimes to, my kids. And, all my kids want is for me to love them and be happy. And like, yes, I gotta, you know, be a parent and help them grow and like teach them things, and when they do things wrong, but like, I don't always need to be an asshole to them. Like, I don't always need to say no to them. Like, a yes goes a long way, like, to my children. And I always say no to things that they ask, and then I immediately say yes. But it's because I'm I'm annoyed by what they're asking about. And so yeah, I just like this concept of the field and like the universe showing us things that like we need to fix about ourselves is definitely happening to me. And it came up again in shrinking. And I I I think if you're probably seeing signs of something in your life right now that like you might need to change, and I would encourage you to look at the things around you, because I mean, honestly, I think what happens with this idea of the field is that people see the signs around them and they just ignore them, and or they're just that unfamiliar, well, not unfamiliar, but they're just that unaware that the universe is showing them something. And that, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, like someone's probably saying right now, well, that's God, like they, I like I said yesterday, I'm would consider myself agnostic. I do believe that I don't know. That's why it's called being agnostic, is like you don't know. But I do think that there is like something higher, and something, the universe is there talking to you and trying to show you things. And so I would say go go look and see if the universe is finding things, because I will guarantee you will find something to fix about yourself, and the world will tell you what you need to fix about yourself. So this has been a episode of On the Streets of Spokast with Brennan, and thank you all so much for listening. Please drop some comments, DMs, anything you'd like about the podcast, anything you think I should fix about the podcast. But yeah, I appreciate you being here, and I will see you next time. Peace.